I'm Jeremy Fretz, a descendant of Christian Fretz, who emigrated to Pennsylvania between 1710 and 1725. He came with his brother, known as Weaver John, and his mother. Christian's father, Johannes Fretz, was the last of my ancestors buried in Europe. He was born in Haguenau, France in 1668, and most records suggest that he died there before his family left for the United States. I'm going to go find him. In the confusing geography of the day, Haguenau was once an imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire. The volatile politics of the Reformation era led to the incorporation of the entire region of Alsace into modern-day France. Today, Haguenau is part of France, as it was when Johannes died. Nearby are the larger cities of Strasbourg, France, and Mannheim, Germany. Strasbourg was a renowned center of religion, learning, and culture long before the Fretzes arrived on that side of the Rhine. Strasbourg was also home to Gutenberg, as he perfected movable type. I visited the town of Haguenau on Ascension Day, a state holiday in heavily Catholic France. I passed two cathedrals holding Mass this Thursday morning in recognition of the occasion. The heavy-handed Royal Catholicism of the 1700s is what drove the Mennonite Fretzes to leave for William Penn's colony in the New World. Family biographer A.J. Fretz wrote, "It is said that they came to this country during what was known as the last persecution. They were given the alternative of connecting themselves with the state church or leaving the country, and they chose, rather than to give up their religious liberty, to leave the fatherland and friends, the graves of their ancestors, and all the hallowed associations of the home and country of their nativity. I set out on a quest to find those graves of my ancestors."
I'm here in Haguenau on a quiet street, and this particular street has a view of a couple of really old buildings, both of which would have been here for hundreds of years before the Fretz ancestors moved to Haguenau for a generation before heading off to the colonies. This is a cemetery in Haguenau. It is not the right cemetery. For one thing, everybody here is way too young. They're probably, the oldest I think I found is around 1850. Another thing, I think they're all Catholic. But right behind, or right in front of me, is actually a grave for an Albert Fritz, died 1937. I'm in Haguenau looking for dead Fretzes. So far I've found some dead Catholics that are way too young. But hey, it's a pretty day, it stopped raining, and I'm going to keep looking. This is the Ancien Douane. It's been here since 1518, and Fretzes didn't come to Haguenau from Karlsruhe until mid-1600s at the earliest, so this was here. They saw it. This is the Hotel du Commandant. It was built in 1700. Johannes Fretz was buried here in this town in 1709, so this would have definitely been around in his era and the era of his sons. La Tour de Pêcheurs, been here since the 1200s. Behind me is the Granary of St. George. If Johannes and his sons were farmers here, and I think they were when they were in Haguenau, some of the ancestors were innkeepers and shipbuilders, but I think they were farmers here in Haguenau. And that is a granary that was built in the 1500s, so presumably they might have had some interaction with that, bringing grain in or dealings, doing business dealings there. Now, how would you like to attend elementary school where Henry II visited the town in 1552? Here we have the history of Haguenau from 1035, when they established a settlement on the island in the Moder River, and it had some involvement in the Crusades, and then was in the center, really, of some of the craziness between the Protestants and the Catholics in the 14th, 15th, 16th centuries. Here I am at the Hotel des Chevaliers, getting ready to go back into Center City and see if I can get some good street food from the Festival des Humors. Well, so much for the rain holding off, but I've had a great time here in Haguenau. Didn't find any Fretzes, or at least haven't yet. Still looking, but the guy at the tourist office couldn't even name the cemeteries, so I think it might be a lost cause for today. This is the Historical Society and Museum. Fabulous building. You might think it's been here for a long time. It was built in the early 1900s. But most importantly, it's closed today. So they will not be assisting me on my journey to find Johannes Fretz. So, turns out the Historic Museum was open later in the day. So they gave ladies there, two ladies with much friendly gesturing, helped me to understand where the cemeteries are. And we've got one more to visit that I haven't tested yet, and I'm almost there. Well, here I am in Le Cimetière. Okay, my French tongue isn't working anymore. The cemetery of St. George, and supposedly there's all sorts of people buried here, not just Catholics. And but so far I've only found people from 1849. I need to go back another 140 years. These very worn tombs are for folks born in 1809, so they're still 100 years off. Yeah, so this is a nightmare for an obsessive-compulsive person, because I'd really like to go past every single grave and make sure that I haven't missed one. But for the most part, all of these folks are way too young. Most of them, only a few even born in the 1700s. So I'm gonna, look carefully as I go out. But I haven't seen any Fretzes, and I haven't seen anyone from really the right era at all. Well, I have been to the two primary city cemeteries here in the old town. Haven't found anyone that was even hardly born before 1790. So certainly no one born in buried in 1709. A lot of these graves are look like they've been rearranged and brought here, but don't know where the older folks went, or if their tombs were smaller, inconspicuous, or just so badly damaged that no one knew who they were. But I have definitely paid my respects to the dead in Haguenau, and I'm headed back to Strasbourg. Well, here I am getting ready to head back to Strasbourg. The next train leaves at 1940 hours, which is about half an hour from now. But it's really important I catch this one, because the one after that is at 5:30 in the morning. So the bane of my existence today has been the ticket machines, because they only take coins, which are sort of hard to get because nobody likes to break large bills, and a $1 coin, $2 coins. They also take MasterCard, but not American MasterCard. It has to be a MasterCard with a little microchip, which mine don't have. So what seems like a very convenient way to get a ticket becomes a real pain when you don't have any of the little $1 and $2 coins to buy $12 worth of train tickets, 12 euros worth of train tickets, which today is like 20 bucks. So anyway, so I have been wandering around the village looking like a wet dog, begging for coins, buying sodas and things that are that would give me enough change to buy my $6 return ticket. I have achieved that, and now I will get on the train and go take a nap.